They wanted 10 years in prison for my disabled daughter. The prosecutor said my daughter Emma had violently attacked an HOA gatehouse using her wheelchair. As he spoke, the HOA president sat confidently in the front row, a faint smile on her face, as if she had already won. What none of them knew was who I really was. They had no idea I was the United States Attorney General, and that was their first mistake. The phone rang at exactly 2:17 a.m. I had been asleep for less than 3 hours when the sharp sound pulled me awake. Late-night calls were normal in my line of work. As Attorney General, emergencies didn't wait for daylight. Terror threats, federal investigations, political crises. But something told me this call was different. Dad, my heart stopped. It was Emma. Her voice was shaking, broken by quiet sobs. Dad, please. I need help. I sat straight up in bed. Emma, what's wrong? Are you hurt? I'm in jail. The words didn't make sense. My HOA president had me arrested. They're saying I could go to prison. 10 years, Dad. For a moment, the room felt like it was spinning. Emma was 22 years old. She had cerebral palsy and used a wheelchair her entire life. She had never even gotten a parking ticket. Prison wasn't just impossible. It was unthinkable. Slow down, I said, forcing my voice to stay calm. Tell me exactly what happened. Emma had moved into Sunset Valley 3 months earlier. It was her first apartment, a small one-bedroom unit inside a gated community. She wanted independence. She wanted to prove to herself and the world that she could live on her own. She paid rent with student loans and money from her part-time job while studying environmental science at the university. From the first week, the HOA president made her life miserable. Mrs. Richardson hates me, Emma said quietly over the phone. She complains about everything. Her wheelchair ramp, her handicap parking spot, even the sound of her wheels on the sidewalk. Tonight was worse. I was coming home from class, Emma explained. I used the handicap entrance like always, and she was waiting for me. I reached the jail within the hour. Seeing Emma behind bars nearly broke me. She sat in her wheelchair inside a holding cell, eyes red from crying, hands shaking. Dad, I'm scared, she said. I held her hand through the bars. I'm here, I promised. We're going to fix this. Her lawyer met me outside the cell. Sir, she said carefully, the HOA president is pushing hard. She wants maximum penalties. For a wheelchair accident? I snapped. She claims aggravated assault and destruction of property. The prosecutor is unusually eager. Margaret Richardson, the HOA president, stood at the gatehouse and blocked Emma's path. She said I wasn't allowed to use the handicap gate after 6 p.m. I felt my jaw tighten. That's illegal, I said. You can't restrict handicap access by time. I tried to tell her, Emma said. I showed her the disability laws on my phone. She got angry. She said disabled people shouldn't expect special treatment. That sentence alone made my blood boil. She stood right in front of my wheelchair. Emma continued. I couldn't move. She told me to use the main entrance. The one with stairs? I asked. Yes. I closed my eyes. Emma couldn't use stairs. She never had. She said it wasn't her problem, Emma whispered. Emma tried to slowly move around her. That's when her wheel caught part of the old wooden gate mechanism. The structure shook slightly. Nothing broke. No one was hurt. But Margaret Richardson started screaming. She said I was attacking HOA property on purpose, Emma said. Then she called the police. What about the threat she accused you of making? Emma sounded confused. I didn't threaten her. I said, please don't make this a bigger problem. I meant legally, like filing a complaint. But Margaret told police it was a violent threat, and they believed her. I reached the jail within the hour. Seeing Emma behind bars nearly broke me. She sat in her wheelchair inside a holding cell, eyes red from crying, hands shaking. Dad, I'm scared, she said. I held her hand through the bars. I'm here, I promised. We're going to fix this. Her lawyer met me outside the cell. Sir, she said carefully, the HOA president is pushing hard. She wants maximum penalties. For a wheelchair accident? I snapped. She claims aggravated assault and destruction of property. The prosecutor is unusually eager. That was when I realized something deeper was happening. This wasn't just a misunderstanding. This was discrimination weaponized. The next morning, we reviewed the charges. 3 HOA witnesses claimed Emma was aggressive. Video footage was mentioned, but never shown. The narrative was clear: a disabled woman abusing her condition to break rules. I wanted to step in officially, but I couldn't. If I used my position now, they'd say Emma escaped justice through power. So I stayed silent, and I watched. The courtroom was packed at the preliminary hearing. Margaret Richardson testified first. She spoke with confidence, control, authority. She violated community rules, Margaret said. When I enforced them, she threatened me and attacked HOA property. She claimed the handicap entrance had after-hours restrictions. Emma's lawyer asked for proof. Margaret had none. She claimed HOA rules overrode federal law. The courtroom shifted. That sentence alone exposed everything. Then Emma took the stand. She didn't raise her voice. She didn't cry. She spoke with honesty. "I just want to go home," she said. She described months of harassment, how small she felt, how unwanted. When she finished, the room was silent. But then the prosecutor stood up and demanded 10 years. That was the moment I knew. This wasn't justice. This was punishment, and it wasn't over yet. The prosecutor didn't stop there. He called himself as a witness. That alone stunned the courtroom. He spoke about setting an example, about disabled people, using sympathy to escape consequences. I felt something snap inside me. That's when I stood up. "Your Honor," I said, my voice steady. "My name is Robert Morgan." Gasps filled the room. "I'm a United States Attorney General, and I am Emma Morgan's father." Margaret Richardson's face drained of color. The prosecutor froze. "I have listened quietly," I continued. "What I've witnessed is not law enforcement. It is discrimination." The judge ordered silence. I turned toward Margaret. "You blocked my daughter's access to her home. You harassed her. Then you criminalized her disability." She stammered. "I didn't know who she was." "It shouldn't matter," I said coldly. Then I made one phone call. Civil Rights Division. Federal investigation. Immediate review. The judge dismissed all charges on the spot. Ordered a full ethics inquiry. Margaret Richardson sat down, shaking. The case didn't end there. Over the following weeks, federal investigators uncovered a pattern. Disabled residents forced out. Access denied. Harassment normalized. The HOA was sued. Margaret was removed. Millions in damages followed. Mandatory policy reform. As for Emma, she stood taller than ever. "This wasn't about you saving me," she told me later. "It was about standing up." She graduated with honors. Now she fights discrimination professionally. And Sunset Valley? It finally learned the difference between power and justice.
The story's over. Now let's get real. Imagine standing there on all that land, every inch legally yours. If you were in the owner's shoes, what would you do? Let them stay, sell the homes, or pull some other wild move? Drop your answer in the comments and let's see who's the boldest.